Hey, what's up? Finally, it's weekend. All I want is cold beer, maybe some pickles, some ham. But do you know what makes it even better? Fresh bread. A sourdough beer bread with deep flavors and dark, crispy crust. Let's make it, shall we? In a medium-sized bowl, add 7 grams salt, followed by teaspoon of honey to boost up the fermentation and add little bit of flavor. 80 grams active starter fed 5 hours in advance. And as you know, we have beer, 280 grams. I'm using Dunkel, you can even use a stout if you like. I also love to add 50 grams cooked oats to this recipe. If you don't like it, skip it. Lastly, I have 350 grams bread flour and 50 grams rye flour for health benefit, boosting up the fermentation, and to unlock lots of deep flavors in this bread. And then mix everything with the wooden spoon until you lose your patience and time to switch your best tools in your kitchen. I'm talking about your beautiful hands. Once you add a shaggy dough like this, don't leave it just there. Go and mix it for another 3 to 5 minutes. The better you mix the dough now, the faster the dough will come together. That should be okay. And again, don't panic about your messy hands. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Use a scraper to clean them up. Both the bowl and your hands. Then cover it up and let it rest for 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, the dough gains some beautiful strength thanks to the time. Grab the dough, make sure to wet your hands, lift it up, fold it on itself, and this is called stretch and fold if you know, but we're gonna get fancy and be a little extra. Flip the dough and round it up beautifully inside the bowl. Look at it. It's not sticky anymore. Cover it up and let it rest for another 30 minutes. If your dough doesn't look like this at all, I mean, it's a sticky mess, maybe you're using the wrong type of flour, or maybe your flour is not that strong. Next time, just reduce the hydration. 30 minutes later, same thing gonna happen here. But first, look at this beautiful dough. It's quite strong now. I'm gonna wet my hand one more time, stretch the dough a little bit, fold it back, and then grab it and round it up in my hands, like a pizza ball. Simple, right? Or you can bring it on the counter to create even more tension. Use the scraper if it sticks to the counter. Then go ahead, round the dough up while you are pushing it underneath. And this create even more tension. Gorgeous. Now into the bowl, clean up everything beautifully. Into the bowl and let it rest for 45 minutes this time. 45 minutes later, before you start doing coil fold, you need to listen to me. Look at this dough. It's quite firm, right? So I decided to not perform a set of coil fold here. Here my dough was quite stiff and not loose enough to give it a set of coil fold. So I decided to, instead of coil fold, just bring it on the counter, stretch a little bit and fold it on itself, maybe round it up one more time. That's why I always insist, at the end of the day, you need to adjust the recipe according to your situation, your climate, your flour. Your dough always tells you what he wants. Remember? Into the bowl, and I'm gonna let it rest for another 45 minutes. And 45 minutes later, again the dough looks quite stiff. So if I go ahead and give this a set of coil fold, it's not gonna be a beautiful coil fold. You know what I'm saying, right? So I tried to round it up gently one more time. This was a little extra, to be honest. And let it finish its small fermentation. As smooth as this. I mean, I wish this video had smell feature. This thing smells so nice. And that was it. I think it's gonna be ready in 1 hour and 30 to 40 minutes, as my room temperature is so high today. Alright, here are visual indicators for a well-fermented dough. You might see some bubbles forming in the surface. The dough is airy, a bit puffy. We have 40% rice. Since my room temperature is high, The dough pulls away from the side of the bowl, and the dough temperature should not exceed 27 degrees Celsius or should not be below than 25 degrees. This is on the very edge of getting over. So now I need to be fast. Spray a little water on the counter in case it is a little sticky. If you hold the bowl upside down, it should release, should not be bothering at all. Then flip the dough and again push it underneath while you are trying to round it. This is called pre-shape. Usually I let it sit uncovered on the counter for 20 minutes. This time I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes only. 10 minutes later, shaping time. You can get fancy like me, try to fold all the sides to the center, pitch them together, and then flip the dough. And again, same thing gonna happen here. Round it and push it underneath. Easy peasy, right? Then into the banneton and let it proof. If I wanted to cold proof this dough, I would cut the fermentation earlier. Because my room temperature is so high, the dough temperature goes high because we have rye, we have honey. They're going to boost the fermentation and speed up the fermentation. So it would be better to control the temperature. And ideally, I wanted to cold proof this for not more than 10 to 12 hours. Let's say overnight would be the best. And sorry for that noise, it's raining season here. Here is my oven adjustment. I have an upside down tray on the top to cover up my dough for the first 20 minutes. And then I'm going to bake it on baking steel. If you don't have it, you can use another upside down tray and another small pan with baking stone to pour boiling water later and create lots of steam. At 28 degrees Celsius, it's not going to take more than 30 to 40 minutes for this dough to proof completely. How you know? Poke the dough. If it bounces back slowly, it's ready to bake. And if you see some missing part like this, don't try to correct it. It's too late now. That part gonna bake under. Don't worry. And if it bounces back right away, you need to let it ferment for another 10 to 15 minutes. Bring a baking paper or a baking mat. Transfer the dough gently. This is one of my favorite ways to score bowl sourdough. Make sure you're using a sharp blade. You can also dust up little rice flour or semolina to make it easier. That's a cute scoring, right? Alright, be careful. Safety comes first. Take your time. Pour boiling water on those baking stone carefully into the oven, to the preheated oven, and shut the door quickly. Bake at 230 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, remove the cover. Use a thick gloves or thick kitchen towels. Again, safety first. Then reduce the temperature to 210 degrees Celsius and bake for another 27 minutes. Oh my God. Check the sound, which tells me it's perfect. And let it cool down completely, maybe for 1 hour. This is a piece of art, my friend. And this, my friend, is a super crispy and light crust. But what we got inside? Can I just say, wow? I mean, look at this crumb. I'm telling you, for a 70% hydration, it's a super fluffy and soft crumb. That's happened only when you're nailing the fermentation. And that's why I always insist, higher hydration not always equal to better bread, right? Alright, before my beer gets warm, I need to try this bad boy. Cheers! I love weekends. And tasting time. My favorite part of my job. I'm not joking, that hits the spot. This is the symphony of flavors. Beer, rye, honey. Let's try with little cheese. That's even better. Alright, honestly I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this recipe. Let me know in comment section. Look at this fluffy crumb. Alright my friends, I guess that was it. If you haven't subscribed the channel and if you don't want to miss my next video, you can subscribe now. Like always, keep baking and take a good care of yourselves.